Happy FAQ Friday. What's up, Facebook? Happy FAQ Friday. I think we're all together now. I'm really excited to do my FAQs with you today. So many amazing questions were sent from the members again, but I don't think I'm going to get through all of them today either. So as promised, I will just triage them off into the next week, but there are a lot of really great questions today. So the first question that came up, and this is a great one, is what foods are really good for energy? And before I tell you what foods are super good for energy, I want you to also take a moment to ask, like, why? Why are you looking for energy? Like, why is this even a question? Is it because maybe your life's out of balance and maybe you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing? Like, are you not getting enough sleep? Are you overworking? Are you not taking care of yourself? Are you not eating, like, maybe foods that would give you energy? So, for example, with me, like, I love cake, but as soon as I eat cake, I'm like, and so then I'm like, oh, now I need more something to stimulate me and have energy. Or maybe you've been overusing caffeine or something, which we're going to get to a little bit later. So if you're looking for something, like if you're asking yourself, like, or asking me, what can I eat for energy? Like, what's a food, like, to give me energy? Maybe first take a pause and figure out what's causing you to have that energy need first and see if you can fix it that way. That being said, sometimes we all need a little pick-me-up, a little slump, whatever. And for me, my favorite source of, like, food for energy is an apple. Whenever I'm feeling like bleh or down, like, or I just, something's hitting me in the afternoon and for whatever reason, I just need a little pick me up, like a fresh raw fruit is almost always my go-to, and it zips me right up and it gives me whatever I need and usually kind of helps me get through until the next meal comes around and then I'm energized again. So that's something. Another thing, you guys know I love potatoes. Love, 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 love potatoes. And so potato is a great option for an energizing food. But overall, I find as long as I'm making sure my life is manageable, I'm getting sleep, I'm eating healthy as much as I can every day, and I am taking care of myself and practicing self-care, which has been a huge lesson for me this year. It's all about self-care. That I don't really need to start relying on those, like, sort of supplements and things to help me out. I'm super proud that I've never taken one of those energy shot things, but I just found out from my husband that apparently a former, like, Buddhist monk developed those 5-hour energy drinks. And so that's super fascinating and I need to learn more about that. All right, next question. So a lot of folks asked about saggy skin, and first, I feel you. I went through it with my weight loss. I didn't have like a ton to lose. I think my grand total was under 50 pounds. So, and it was slow. So I was very lucky. I was young. But I know that it's definitely a problem, and I still have it in certain areas. Like, I still, like, have it, like, if I sit, my skin bunches and I get it around my knees. What I can say is the longer I've maintained my weight and not yo-yoed, my skin has slowly bounce back. And I really think a good diet and proper hydration, and also hydrating my skin. And I like to use a coconut butter, but coconut oil would be fine on your skin too. And oh, that was another question someone asked, is putting oil on your skin the same as eating it? No, it's not. I actually asked Dr. Campbell about that, and he said it's totally fine with your skin. So if you get dryness on your elbows or something and you want to put oil there, that's fine. But anyway, so my skin, like I said, it really bounced back the longer I maintained my weight. My body, like, started to absorb itself with my body scans, and I saw sort of a change in my subcutaneous fat between the year and the year before, even though my composition hadn't changed otherwise. That also helped me sort of see that my skin was changing. A lot of people ask, what about exercise? Exercise won't actually make your skin necessarily more like elastic or bounce back, but what happens is if you build muscle, you might be able to fill out that skin a little bit better. And so that's where, like, building muscle might come in handy for you if that's what you're looking for. There's also a lot of things you can do, like dry brushing or just sort of rubbing it, and talking to a dermatologist can be really good here. But there are some choices and things that you can do to help it out. But a lot of times saggy skin is just a downside to weight loss, and there are cosmetic ways to handle it, but usually changing food or anything else isn't going to really do a lot for you there, unfortunately. So saving money is also a big question. It's one of the reasons I love the meal plans, is because I only spend about $30 a person every week, and where else in the world can you eat 7 meals for $30? I don't think you can do that at Subway. So that's one of the things I love. Of course, making things from scratch is a great way to save money. If you can cook your beans or your rice or make marinara or do any hummus, if you can do any of that from scratch, you're going to save a ton of money because you're always paying for convenience. For me right now in my life, I have to pay for the convenience. I have to take the shortcuts. So I have to pay a little bit more, but that's fine because time is money for me, and my sanity. And so I would rather pay a little bit more for hummus that I don't make myself to stay sane. That's just me. That's, everyone's got to find their own balance. Another way to save money, a huge one for me, is I buy frozen. I almost exclusively buy things like frozen vegetables because my store has sales or 10 and 10, and they do that with canned beans too, and so I'll just take advantage then. One thing I've stopped doing is preemptively buying stuff that's not a staple. Like if I see a spice that I use all the time on, I'll buy it on sale. But I used to like just buy things thinking I would use them in the future, and I wouldn't. And what would end up happening is I would have stockpiles of stuff that I bought because I had a coupon or whatever, and then I never actually got around to using it. And so it didn't actually work out to be a lot of times a savings for me. So now I kind of limit just buying what I need, and if the sale is really good for something that I know I'm going to use in the next week, then I'll do it. But that's been a huge thing for me, and staying away from sale racks because I feel like that FOMO or that urgency, and that's really helped me a lot too. But not having a well-stocked pantry or spice rack has saved me a lot of money, like not just like filling it. And at the end of the week, my fridge is totally naked and my pantry is slim pickings. And like I said, that's really saved me a lot of money. I know other people have a different experience, but that's just mine. A question people asked is, and this kind of leads into another question, as people asked about my calorie range, like, oh, how do I stay within my calories when I'm not on the meal plans? Because, you know, sometimes I'm traveling. So a couple of things there, and I really have to sort of give a shout out to my podcast, Shortcut to Slim. Definitely check out the first few episodes about, of season 1, not season 2, of season 1 about calories, and you'll learn that not all calories are the same, and so you can't even really count them. It's too variable. It's just too hard. And so for me, I don't really count them. Like when I first got into this, I counted calories, but then, and it was helpful because it helped me make decisions, because I would say like, oh, for the same calories, I could have like this little tiny cookie that's not going to fill me up at all, or I could have all this beautiful vegetable. So it helped me make better decisions, like in terms of giving me like a measurement. And I also realized I was really overeating, and I was eating a lot of calories, and that, hey, plants don't have magic calories. It's not all you can eat. You will gain weight if you overeat calories, even if it's carrots. Yes, carrots better than carrot cake, but you know, you don't get an award for putting too much gas in the tank. It still spills back out at you. It just doesn't work. So that was something for me. But for now, I just focus on eating, you know, my meal plans as much as I can. And when I'm off plan, like when I'm out or something, I try to order a meal that looks similar to what I eat on the meal plans. And that's where the meal plans become this really amazing tool, because I can kind of pick and choose and look at a menu and say, oh, that looks like what I would eat on a meal plan, or that's very similar to a meal plan recipe. And so I can really choose something that's still appropriate for me. It still like really helps guide me in that way. But I also, if I do decide to have like a splurge or something, like a little treat because I'm on vacation or I'm taking a bite of a friend's whatever, I that's it. And I take it and I enjoy it. I don't feel bad about it. There's a lot of really great science on guilt and shame from this season 2, which definitely check it out. And that's what I found, that if I felt really shameful or something, I would try to like work out extra or skim somewhere else, and then I would just suffer, and then suffering leads to more self-sabotage. So now I'm just kind of like, if that's what I really want, like that's, one cupcake a month isn't going to make or break my overall healthy diet, because I'm always eating on the meal plan. So that's just sort of the balance that I found. I don't really, like I said, I don't count for the calories. I don't try to plan for it. I don't plan for spurges, because anytime I ever did that, it did not go well for me. But that's me. I know other people have a different experience. So this was a really great question. If someone asked, like, is it different for the body if someone eats like all their calories in one sitting versus if they eat it spread out the day or in different ways? And this really dives into all of the research and science that I did in season 1 of Shortcut to Slim, so definitely check it out. And this kind of goes back to why you can't count. So to answer very quickly, if someone only eats one meal a day and it's like a massive meal, will their body assimilate it the same as if they ate lots of smaller meals? Oh my God. There is a squirrel outside my window, and he is eating a nut, and it is the cutest thing ever. Oh my God, it's so cute. I don't even think I can turn this around because I will scare him away, and it's just the cutest thing I've ever seen. Okay, I'm back. No, I'm not. You're so cute. Oh my God, you're so cute. Oh, I can't look away. Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute. Okay, I'm going to really try to look away. I'm not looking at the squirrel. What was I talking about? I don't even remember. Oh, the one meal a day. Okay, so when you eat like a bomb amount of food like that, your body might not assimilate all of it just because it's going to be so overwhelmed with like all that it's like getting. And it might just be like, ooh, just too much. And so there is some problem with that, which is oftentimes why a lot of people will eat food, like a ton of food, and then they feel awful, like, ooh, ugh, I ate too much. But then like a little while later, they're like, how am I hungry again? And it's because your body just like couldn't handle, like, it's like, woo, that's a lot. And you can kind of think about it the way you think about work. Like if your boss like slowly handed you one little assignment every few hours, you'd be like on the ball, like doing your best work. But if he just like came in the morning and was like, there you go, and there's like this big mass, you're like, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know where to start, I don't know, and you just feel like a panic. So the body goes through that too. But as for whether or not it assimilates, it depends on so many things. Yes, if you're overwhelming it, it might make it harder for the mechanics to break things down. It might take longer to digest because there's just like a ton of it in there. So there's so many different things going on. But also remember that every calorie is processed differently. And so it ultimately depends on the calories you're eating, because some assimilate more better and some have benefits on the back end, because like cooking, for example, it gives calories. And I'm really going too deep without the Shortcut to Slim podcast. Listen to the calorie episodes. Another question, which also comes back to the podcast, is does stress cause weight gain? And this is not an easy answer, because stress can affect your hormones, which can affect weight loss or weight gain. But also it's a lot of mindset. And that's been pretty much this whole season of season 2, is the effect you expect is the effect you get. And so there was this really amazing study with, oh my God, there he is again. He's so cute. So there was this really amazing study of these women who cleaned, they were like housekeepers. And any of us who have cleaned a house know that scrubbing a toilet, scrubbing showers, vacuuming, mopping, all that, I mean, that's exercise, guys. That's some serious work. And so they took 2 groups of these house cleaner maid ladies, and there might have been men too. I'm being sexist. Sorry about that. So they took them and they told one group, like, hey, you guys should exercise. Exercise is important for health, and have a nice day. And they were like, okay. And then the other group, they're like, hey, exercise is really important for health. You should exercise. And by the way, you're exercise superstars. The stuff you do is like epic. You're like the best exercisers in the world. And within months, they came back and looked at them, and the results were shocking. The group that did not know anything, they were just told to like go exercise, but they didn't say that their work was exercise. They remained the same. But the other group, their numbers improved. Lots of the people lost weight. And what they found was the expectation is what they got, because they believed what they were doing was healthy for their body interpreted it that way, and they became healthy. And because they believed that now what they were doing at work wasn't hard on their body and like painful to them, but actually a benefit to their body responded more positively. So that's something to think about. A really amazing book on this is The Upside to Stress. And it can say that stress can absolutely be advantageous, and sometimes it's just how you think about it. So that's something to consider. The last question I can address before I've got to pop off is about caffeine, which I talked about earlier. So people are always asking me about caffeine. And so my feeling about caffeine, and this is just mine, is that it's your personal choice. And like any drug or substance, you should be using it responsibly and for you. If you're abusing it, that's a problem, and you should probably do something about that. But it really does come down to a personal choice, like whether you want to have 1 a day, 2 a day, 1 a week, never. And like I said, again, if there is a problem there, if there is an abuse or something that's not healthy, then 100% sobriety is probably necessary. But I also find whenever someone is asking me, or even I'm asking, like, how much should I do of this, or how much, or is it okay? When you're looking for those like justifications, there's probably a deeper why maybe needs to be asked. Like, why are you trying to justify this? Sort of like what we were going back to in the very beginning, when the person asked, like, what foods give energy? Well, why do you need the energy? Like, is something not right that you're needing this energy? Like, why are you looking for this? And so sometimes it has to take a minute to kind of come back and go deep. And that's what's been going on this whole season of, coming back to the podcast. Coming back to the podcast is going to the inside, and no one wants to do that. It's not fun. Everyone wants the simple solution of eat an apple, but it will make your life a lot better if instead of just, putting a Band-Aid on it, you're looking. And that's actually how I came to the plant-based diet. I was having a lot of health issues, and one of the things was I had pain, and one of my doctors was just saying like, oh, no problem, I'll prescribe you pain medication. And I was like, but one, okay, that's cool. I'm glad I won't be in pain later if you do that. But like, I want to know what's causing the pain. Like, shouldn't we be figuring out why I'm in pain in the first place? Like, this isn't fixing. And so that's something I like to say is, figure out what it is to fix that so you don't need the Band-Aid. And also with respect to, why is I just, anytime I'm trying to justify something or argue for it or I'm defending a choice, I know that maybe there's a little bit more there. I need to dig a little bit deeper. So anyway, thank you for joining me for this week's FAQ Friday. There will be a few more questions already reserved for next week, but if you're a member, go ahead and ask some more. And have a beautiful weekend, everyone. I will probably be back maybe with Scott, or maybe Scott will do a video this weekend because we love cooking with you guys. And that's about it. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope you're having a beautiful Friday. And now I am going to go have my lunch. So